Well, hello guys, welcome to the channel once more. Today we're gonna do something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and I've been asked to do a couple of times, and it's upgrading the storage solution on my HP Pavilion laptop by adding an M.2 drive. So I don't know if you guys know, but these laptops come with the option to have an M.2 drive, or you may either have the model with an Intel Optane module. In that case, you won't be able to use a M.2 drive unless you like toss the Intel module away, which I wouldn't recommend if I were you. But if you don't have that model, you can do the M.2 upgrade, and this is a great solution if you either want more storage on your computer and you want a way faster operating system and responsiveness from your laptop, because M.2s are super fast. The M.2 that I'm going to use today is this one. It's from Crucial. It's the Crucial P5, 500 gigs M.2. The reason why I'm going for 500 gigs is because I already have an SSD installed that I upgraded like years ago, like 2 years ago. On my computer, which is like 480 gigs. So in total, I'm gonna be close to like 1 terabyte on the laptop, which is more than enough. And I got it for like $50 on Amazon on Prime Day, which was a really good deal. And the reason why I'm going from Crucial is because Crucial has a great tool that you can download, and it's gonna scan your computer and it's gonna tell you which components are compatible. So I'm gonna link that tool on the description, but it's really helpful. The other thing that you guys are gonna need, it's an M.2 screw, because the hard drives come without a screw. I'm gonna try to use one that I have laying around from my motherboard of my gaming PC. I'm gonna see if it works. If it doesn't work, I bought some laptop specifically M.2 screws out of Amazon. It's like $5 or $6, and it comes with a bunch of screws, nylon washers, and a little screw drive to install it and everything, which is really nice. I'm gonna link that on the description as well for you guys to check it out. So the video is gonna be made out of 3 parts. We first are going to physically install the M.2. The tearing down of the laptop, I'm just gonna power through that part, because I already explained how to do it on my RAM upgrade video, which once again I'm gonna link down in the description. Then the second part is gonna be how to clone your existing hard drive into the new hard drive, so you can get all your operating system and all your apps and everything from the original hard drive into a new one. And the third part is going to be how to configure your UEFI, your BIOS on the laptop, to tell it that it has to boot from the M.2 instead of the other hard drive. And that way you can format the other hard drive and use it maybe for mass storage or things like that. So with that being said, let's start by taking the laptop apart, which like I said, I'm just going to speed through it, and let's get started. Something that I forgot to mention is that remember to turn off your PC completely before doing any work on it. So it has to be completely turned off and unplugged from the power source. Okay, so something that I forgot to mention is very important. Remember to have your computer completely off. I think it's already said it, but if I didn't, you have to have the computer completely off, unplugged from the source, and try to have it laying on something soft like a computer case or something, not case, but a computer sleeve, something like that, so you don't scratch it. And on my RAM video, I took the battery out of the computer. I won't be doing that today because I won't be touching any of the electrical components. I'm just going to install the hard drive, but if you're going to do some like work on any of the components, it's better if you take the battery off. The hard drive is right here. This is the 2.5-inch hard drive, 2.5-inch slim hard drive, but the M.2 socket is right here. So if you have an Intel Optane module, it's gonna be installed in this place. So we're gonna go ahead and take our M.2 drive out of the case. I mean, I have an M.2 on my gaming PC, and this is the second that I've seen in real life, and look at this, like so little. So the way to install an M.2 is basically you're gonna, if you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but there's a notch, and there's another notch on the socket. So what you want to try to do is align notch with notch. It won't go in the other way. So that's how you know you're installing it correctly. So you're going to present the M.2 and you're going to push very gently. Normally it's on an angle. There we go. You see how it lays on an angle? Then you would have to just lay it down like this. So we're going to install it there. We're going to take our M.2 screw, which is like the littlest screw ever, and we're gonna see if I can fit this little normal motherboard screw in here. There we go. Well, it looks like this one worked. So you just tied it until it's snug, tighten it, and there we go. That's it. That's all you got to do. So now we're gonna assemble the computer back. I'm not gonna put any of the screws back on, just because I want to see if everything is working okay. So just so you guys know, this is the fan, this is the fin stack, this is the heat pipes, and right here it's where the CPU is. So basically this is all your cooling in this laptop, which is like dirt simple, but yet again this is an i3 2-core processor, so it should not make that much heat. So I'm just gonna put everything back on, everything but the screws, because if there's anything wrong, I don't want to have to undo the screws. Okay, there we go. So remember that in the process of taking this back lid off, you may rip or break some of the plastic pins. Unfortunately, that's something you'll have to live with. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna see if the computer recognizes the hard drive. Okay guys, so after installing our M.2, we're able to see that, well, using Hard Disk Sentinel, which is basically a program that allows you to check the health and performance of your hard drive, we're able to see that, as a matter of fact, our disk is right here. So we already installed our M.2 SSD in our computer, and now we need to clone our hard drive to the new M.2. To do this, we're going to use this program called Macron Reflect, which show us our already existing hard drive and our new hard drive. This program, I got it from a YouTuber, which I'm going to link in the description below, because the process is a little bit hard and he explains it really well. So I'm just going to go a little bit fast doing this, and that way you can refer to his video for more like in-depth explanation on how to do it. But first of all, we're gonna plug in our a USB thumb drive, because we're gonna need it for a kind of like a key, kind of like a backup that we'll need to do. It's not gonna be an image backup, it's gonna be more of a booting option. So we're gonna go to other tasks, create rescue media. That's the name of the media we're gonna create. We're gonna click on our removable flash drive, and we're gonna make sure that we're click here where it says enable multi-boot. So we're gonna click build, and this is gonna take a little bit of time, but it's gonna build the rescue media that we need. You can either do this on a CD or a thumb drive. Make sure that it's a thumb drive with a good capacity. I believe that the file that it's going to create, it's around 500 megabytes. This is a 32 gigs thumb drive, but just make sure that you have enough space to do this. Let's wait until it finishes. Okay, so we're back after creating our rescue media. We get the message saying that it was successfully created, so we hit OK. We make sure that it was created, so we go into our USB drive, and we got all the information for the for the media that we created. I'm just gonna take all the other files out. Okay, so we have the information in the USB drive. So the rescue media information, so we are ready to proceed with the cloning. So we're gonna clone this disk, and the destination is gonna be this disk. So we're gonna delete the existing partition, and we're gonna put the partitions in the correct order. So 1, 2. The problem is if I put 3, it's not gonna give me like the total size. I mean, I want that partition to fully extend all the way. So for that, I need to add to this number, to the partition number, I need to add the final capacity. I need to add this wasted space here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to get a calculator. I should have a calculator around here. So calculator. And I'm going to, so it's going to be 431 plus 21, this number right here, 0.21, sorry, this number right here, plus 18.63. So I'm going to go into this partition. I'm going to say partition properties, and here on the capacity, I'm going to go 449.84. I missed a number here, 44. Why it wouldn't let me? Okay, so 449.84. We're gonna click OK. Then we're gonna move this partition in here and this partition in here. So that's it. We're ready. I mean, we have all the size, all the partitions in the drive ready to go. So we're going to click next. It's going to give us a rundown of what it's going to do, and we're going to click finish. So we're going to click this option off because we're not going to do this again. It's just one time, and we're going to leave it as run this backup row. So I'm going to stop OBS and make sure this is the only program I have on. I'm going to click airplane mode on even to make sure that it's just gonna do this. This process is gonna take time. So we're gonna click OK, and we're just gonna let it run. It's gonna take time, like I said. It will depend on the speed of your hard drives, regarding if you have a hard drive or an SSD cloning to an M.2 in this case, which is fast enough. It's just gonna start. So we'll let it be. I'll just go and maybe grab lunch or something, and I'll be back whenever it's finished. Okay, so as you can see, the process was completed. It took 2 hours and 46 minutes. So it was roughly like 240 gigs copied. So I'm just gonna click here, OK. It will complete the process. I can now click on close. And we can check if the whole process went correctly by going into this PC. We can see that we have a C drive and a Windows F drive. Of course, the Windows F has more space, but if we double click on it and we go to view and we turn off the hidden items, we can see that it's basically the same, and we have basically the same things between the same folders between F and C, which is what we're looking for. So now comes the other part that I wanted to do with you guys. I'm gonna close here, I'm gonna close here, and I'm just gonna run a quick benchmark, basically a quick test of the SSD, the speed of the SSD, and then we'll run the same test on the M.2 so you guys can see the difference between both. So I'm just gonna click here, I'm gonna run the test. The test is gonna take a little bit like a while to run. I will just speed through it on the final edition, and after that I'll just reboot the system. I will run through the UEFI process of changing the BIOS so the computer knows which drive it is going to start from, and after that we'll just call it a day. I won't do the final step, which is formatting the old drive, just because I want to run this system for a week or two, maybe, you know, check it out, see if everything is okay, everything is running smoothly, there were no problems during the cloning process, and maybe after 2 or 3 weeks I'll go ahead and format the SSD and just convert that to a mass storage device. But the main drive is going to be the M.2. So we'll just wait a little bit, and as soon as it finishes, then I'll just go ahead and do the UEFI thing. Okay, so we got our read and write speeds for the SSD. As you can see, pretty standard for a 2.5-inch SATA drive. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this results. I think I'll just email them to me or something like that. And I'll just go into the UEFI, I'll change that, I'll record the process of doing that, and then we will run the same test again on the M.2 and compare the results and just state my final thoughts on the process. Okay, now we will do the UEFI process of setting up the UEFI. Let's see if I remember this correctly, how to do it. So what you want to do is you're gonna click restart, and as soon as the HP logo comes on, you have to click F10. That's gonna bring the UEFI interface, and it's gonna give you the option to change the boot order in theory. Let's see, because when I researched this, it gave like different guidelines regarding if it was a notebook or a desktop. In my case, the notebook option was not working right. So I had to go through like what it should be for a desktop. So let's see if it works. There we go. It's gonna make those sounds because I clicked too many times. So I'm gonna say here no, and you have to use arrows in this case. So you're gonna go all the way to system configuration, at least in my case, and we're gonna go to boot options, last one. We're gonna click enter, and we're gonna go OS boot manager. Okay, OS boot manager, click enter, and it's gonna give us the 2 hard drives. So right now it's in the first one, the Kingston hard drive. So we're gonna go down and we're gonna click enter on the Windows boot manager CT500 P5. That's the M.2. We're gonna tell the computer that it has to be this one. Why it won't let me F5 at F6? So there we go. So with F5 and F6, you're gonna change the order, let's say, in which the BIOS is gonna read the hard drives. So it's right now what it's going to do, it's gonna go first to the M.2. If it doesn't find an operating system on the M.2, it will jump to the SSD. So I'll just change the basically the priority order between the two. So I'm just gonna say F10, I guess. Yeah, F10, exit and save changes, and we're gonna click yes. So now the computer should go into a boot mode in which it's going to read from the M.2, and it's going to start the operating system from the M.2. Now there's the possibility that it's going to boot into like the startup booting option from Windows, being the first time it's going to boot from this drive. That's normal, that can happen. What you will do in that case is just click on the normal boot option, just like boot system. Let's see if it happens in this case. The YouTuber that I'm linking down below, it happened to him. As you can see, it boot up. It looks like everything is okay. It should be the same password and everything. And there we go. Same desktop. Pretty much same everything. Did you see how fast that booted? Pretty cool. So now we're gonna let the computer run all the its boot like sequence. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see if the hard drive like cools itself down a little bit, and then I'll come back and redo the testing that I told you guys about. Okay, so there we go, guys. The computer already booted. On the right here, we can see this is a test on the M.2. On the left, we can see this was the test on the SSD. So we're getting pretty much, let's say, almost 10 times the performance in sequential reading and writing from our M.2 than from over our SSD, which you may say, well, in this kind of computer, dual core, it's not for gaming, who cares? Well, that's the problem, it's a dual core. So whatever performance you can get out of, for example, your hard drive, is gonna increasingly help you in normal tasks like opening files, like inserting images on Word documents. Things like that are gonna make the difference in these kind of small laptops, because all the system is not gonna be restrained. The speed of the system is not going to be restrained as much as it would be, for example, with a hard drive or with just 8 gigabytes of storage, for example, in this case that I upgraded to 16 gigabytes. So all these little changes that you can make to your computer are going to improve the overall capacity of the system. So once again, thank you guys so much for coming here to my channel and watching this video. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, well, the comment section is down below. Please just type your comments there, and just go check the links on the video. As I said before, you'll see the original video for the cloning of the hard drive, for the RAM upgrade video, as well as links for the program from Crucial and the Amazon page for the M.2 drive and the M.2 screws. And well, see you guys on the next one.